Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I went on a little trip the other day. Sorry for not taking you along. But I went to pick up some more content for the channel. And I had a little breakdown on the way home. But before I can show you the content, I got to try to unload the trailer, get it moved around and stuff. I don't have high hopes, but I'm going to try with the skid steer and the attachment. But the trailer is loaded, front to back. It's got two things on it. It has the thing I went to get and the thing I went to get it with. So I got to get that off. I'm going to have to get the 806 out of here. I had that in here. It wasn't just supposed to be a hose holder, but it's so handy for it. No, I was going to do some work on here, but I haven't got around to it yet. You may or may not have seen this yet, but that is a big holdup. So let's give it a try. Well, that really surprised me that the skid steer moved it. As you could see, the roll really struggled, but it might just get me by. Otherwise, I got to throw a battery in the dually, and I got to do a lot of cranking on the jacks. So let's get the 806 out and see what happens. I tried starting this thing earlier this winter, and it didn't want to go. Let's see if it goes now. I'm so hopeful. I climbed up on here. Now that's a little bit better. Get this thing out of the way. I got it lined up with the hoist here. All I got to do is winch it off. Hopefully this one's good. I haven't used it in a while. I've got the skid steer on top so it doesn't go tippy because I don't have a pickup hook to it. This is the first time you guys are seeing me use this thing since I put it on. I used it to winch the pickup on here. So hold the button to activate it. Seems like it's gonna work. I'm just gonna pull it out though, save some of that battery. Normally it's hooked to a vehicle that's running. I guess I got it jammed up a little. We'll go now. No, might have to wind it all out. Oh well, battery seems to be doing okay. How do you winch something off of a trailer? I have the cable hooked to the plow bracket and I have it running all the way back, chained to the hoist on the far end with a snatch block, and that will put my pull point right there and pull the pickup back. Let's get this thing off here. Not quite lined up with the hoist, so I'm gonna have to try to steer a little bit. There it is. That's how I do it. Now, let's try to figure out what's wrong with this thing once I get that out of the way. So is what happened to this thing when I was driving home the other day is I was coming down a hill and I seen the gauge on the dash there, cowl. It's a mechanical pressure gauge. That went to nothing and the engine shut off. That gauge is hooked into the head. The head has high pressure oil going to it. If you're not familiar with these engines, these Huey engines, they have high pressure oil going to the head, fuel going to the head. The fuel goes in the injector. The high pressure oil goes in the injector. Solenoid pops the high pressure oil. It goes in, pushes down on a piston, which pushes down on a piston that has fuel under it. And it intensifies it, injects it, so on. Under this cover right here is a reservoir full of oil. The standard low pressure pump, just like every other car has to fill the engine, oil demands, crank cam, etc., turbo, the low pressure feeds, and it fills this reservoir. And then the high pressure pump uses oil out of this reservoir to run the injection system. So you need at least 500, give or take a little, for these engines to start. And here is the pump. It's just a piston pump, piston hydraulic pump. There's a line that goes to each head. There's a regulator over here. That's how it regulates the pressure that it demands. It drives off the timing set. So there's gears in the cover here. And the first thing I'm going to check is if the gears are turning. So it's kind of hard to tell, but there's a cover right here. That gives you access to the bolt to the pump. And I torqued it to specs, but could be that slipped. So I'm going to pop that cover off. Need to take off this line, this wire, and then there's a metal line down there. That's actually your exhaust back pressure sensor. So I got that undone, and I got the bolts out. So I should just be able to pry that off. And that's what it looks like. So I've got one of these. I can hook it up to the stud right here with one of the clips and up to the positive on the battery on the other. So the key is off. I should be able to just hit the button and crank it over. The bolt is turning. So if the bolt is turning, the pump should be turning. So I'm going to move on to the next step. So here we got the test plug next to the unit that comes out of the truck. This pulses, moves the poppet in here, allows oil to escape the system. That's how it controls how much pressure there is by releasing some of it back to the oil pan. So if you put this in just like it is here and you crank it over and you get pressure, you'll get as much pressure as it's going to make or whatever. Then this could be the issue. But if you're still not getting pressure, you can take this out, put air to it, and listen to where it gurgles out. Or if you have the valve covers off, maybe you can see it coming out around an injector or something. So this little steel nut is a 3/4, and then this is 1 1/8. But I didn't have a socket that would a deep socket that would fit this. The one I have has some weird thing in it. So I just took a couple extra sockets I had and welded them together, and it fits on there. And it fits on there just fine. Goes all the way through if you need to. Yeah. I suppose I could machine out the deep socket I have to fit through there, but it has some goofy thing inside the square part there, so it won't fit all the way through. I've got the test plug in, and I'm gonna bump the starter. Well, this is gonna be a short video. Looks like it's just the IPR. Here I got the old IPR next to new IPR, and I just had this all apart not too long ago, and this was working, so I didn't put this new one in, but I noticed every once in a while it would kind of surge like, so I don't know. I'm gonna go throw this one in and it should fire right off. Well, I've got the new IPR on, and I have the cover back over the pump bolt. Got the wire back on the solenoid. See if this thing starts. Shh. Quiet. Glow plugs. It's warm in the shop. It's 60 degrees in here. Shouldn't really need it, but I'll let it do its thing. A little bit of air in the system. And it smoked up the shop anyways. Let's try that again. Probably still some air in the system. That's a little bit better though. Nice, that was an easy fix. Well guys, you want to see what this belongs to? What I pulled home on the trailer? Let's go outside and look. Well, I guess I'll just have to show you another time because it's too dark to see anything out there. Well guys, I'm glad, so glad that this wasn't a very bad fix. But yeah, there's a couple tight spots in there. My arms don't really fit that great. Well guys, thanks for watching. Join me next time. Take care and God bless. You want to run them?